I am K. Department of Physics. Today my topic is first sem Physics Unit 3 Relativistic Mechanics subtopic of explain the Michelson-Morley experiment. So Michelson-Morley experiment detects the main purpose. Michelson-Morley experiment was absolute reference frame in which the velocity of light 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second the either to be stationary relative to the scene and the other fixed stars, the earth relative to the either with a speed of light 3 into 10 power 4 meter per second. So this experiment first preferred by Michelson in 1881 and again Morley in 1887. So this is the diagram of Michelson-Morley instruments. So this is the source and sun. So this is the mirror. So set up in a 45-degree angle and mirror M1 and mirror M2 sets the perpendicular in 90 degrees. So this is the telescope T. So experiment arrangement so first one experiment arrangement, the beam of light from monochromatic source S, it is at rest. Next one, the beam of light fall on a off silvered. So off silvered. This is the off silvered mirror M. So of the interferometry and the next one, mirror will be incident beam of light angle at 45 degrees. So 45 degrees. Next one, next point, fourth point, the beam of light incident in mirror split into two ways, perpendicular beams split into two perpendicular beams. So first beam travel in mirror M1 in refraction. Again, second beam incident beam split into two types. Second beam reflection of mirror M2. Reflection. And next one, the two beams reach the mirror M1 and M2. To get reflected in again M. To get reflected in again M, reach the mirror M. So next one, so first mirror get refracted. First mirror is again reflected. Reflected of first beam through M. Through M. So second beam refracted through M. So this is the refracted. So refracted of second beam through M. So these two beams are traveled into a telescope T. So next, theory and derivation. Theory and derivation of formula. Theory and derivation of formula. So first of all, the preferred by phase difference. So first one, the two beams difference between distance. So next one, the two beams difference between velocities. Next one, the two beams traveled in M1 and M2 same distance. So traveled same distance, M2 M1 equal M2 M2, same distance L. So next one, the reflected ray is the greater than of refracted ray. So that means first beam extra distance, then compare first beam of light. So then compare first beam of light. So second beam of light is reflected. So then compare the first beam of light. So get time difference T1 not equal to T2. So T1 time not equal to T2 time. So calculate the time T1, time T. So velocity equal distance by time. So time equal distance by velocity. So time means T. Distance means traveled distance m2 m1 is L by velocity. So this source of light traveled in the mirror m1. So total distance light speed c. So again m2 m1 distance also v. So c minus v. S2 m1 distance c. m2 m1 distance v. So remaining distance calculated in c minus v. So that means c minus v plus. So this beam is traveled in m2 m2. So total distance L. Velocity means c plus v gets reflected. Reflected means negative. So minus v. So this is the time taken T1. So time taken T1 equal LCM c minus v into c plus v. So that equal L by a minus b into a plus b. That means a square minus b square. So T1 equal, wait. So LCM calculate c minus v into c plus v. So c minus v cancel. L into c plus v. So CL plus VL plus c plus v cancelled. So L into c into L minus v into L. So negative VL and positive VL cancelled. Remaining CL plus CL 2CL by a minus b into a plus b. A square minus b square. So T1 equal 2CL by common term c square. That means 1 minus v square by c square. So c cancelled. Remaining 2L by c into 1 minus v square by c square. So this term above term 2L by c into 1 minus v square by c square whole inverse. So this is the formula of 1 minus x whole inverse. That x means v square by c square. That means 1 plus x square plus and so on. So 1 minus v square by c square inverse, that equal 1 plus v square by c square plus v square by c square whole square plus and so on. So this is equation substituted in above equation. So T1 equal 2L by c into 1 minus v square by c square inverse. Value means 1 plus v square by c square. So that is also, so higher order terms are neglected. So this is the equation number 1 and t1 value. So this is the equation 1 and t1 value. Next one, calculate the t2 value. Next, calculate the t2 value. So t2. So this is the experiment m1 and m2. So this diagram also, this is m1 and m2. So this is the m2 and m1. So this is the m1 and m2. What are image of this diagram? What are image of this diagram? So this is the light speed c, time taken t, and this is the v means objective velocity vt. So this is the mirror m and m2. This is the diagram. So hypotenuse, mathematically, hypotenuse square, hypotenuse means ct whole square equal side square plus side square. Side square means vt square plus side square. So that means side square equal ct square minus vt square. So side square equal c square t square minus v square t square. So common term in t square. So c square minus v square. So side equal root over t square into c square minus v square. So side equal, so root over t square means t into root over c square minus v square. C square minus v square. Side means side of the length L. So L equal t into root over c square minus v square. So t equal L by root over c square minus v square. So this is the time, distance by velocity. So velocity equal distance by time. So time equal to distance by velocity. This is L is the distance. So velocity means c square minus v square. Again reflected to m1 and m2 mirror. So that also L by root over c square minus v square. This is the t2 value. So t2 equal L by root over c square minus v square. This is the one term. This is the another term. Totally two terms. So 2L by root over c square minus v square. That equal 2L by, so common term in c square, root over c square into 1 minus v square by c square. So that equal 2L by, so root C square means C, root over 1 minus V square by A, C square. So again T2 equal 2L by C into 1 minus V square by C square. About equation write down root means 1 by 2. That equal 2L by C, 2L by C into 1 minus V square by C square whole power minus 1 by 2. So this is the term in 1 minus x whole power minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2. That means formula of 1 minus x whole power minus 1 by 2, formula of 1 plus x by 2 plus x square by 3 plus and so on. So 1 minus x power minus 1 by 2 means x means v square by c square whole power minus 1 by 2. 1 plus x means v square by c square into 2. So this value is substituted in above equation. So T2 equal 2L by C into 2L by C into 1 minus V square by C square whole power minus 1 by 2 means 1 plus V square by 2cc square. 2cc square. This is the equation number 2. So this is the time taken T2. So first one is T1, value in mirror T1, and this is the T2 in mirror T2 distance. So time taken T. Again next one, time taken delta T equal T1 minus T2 from 1 and 2. So T1 means delta T equal T1 means 2L by C into 1 plus V square by C square minus T2 means 2L by C into 1 plus V square by 2C square. This is the T2. So delta T equal time taken equal 2L into C into 1 multiplication of these terms. So next 2L V square by 2L into V square by C into C square C cube minus 2L by C into 1 2L by C into 1 plus 2L into V square. So 2L into V square by C into 2C square 2C cube. So these two terms are positive term and negative term in cancelled. So 2 cancelled. Remaining equation delta T equal 2L V square by C cube minus 2 cancelled. Remaining LV square by C cube. So this is the two terms of LV square by C cube. This is the single term. So that means 2 minus 1. So LV square by C cube. Both side applied in a velocity C. And again phase difference R. Phase difference phase difference, velocity into time taken. That means delta t. So velocity equal to distance by time. So distance equal to v into t. Distance means phase difference. So phase difference equal to velocity into distance. So velocity means light velocity, c, into delta t means lv square by cq. So cc cancel, remaining equation lv square by c square. lv square by c square. That means c into delta t, velocity c into delta t, that equal value of lv square by c square. lv square by c square. So both side applying both side wavelength of lambda. So c delta t by lambda equal to lv square by lambda c square. So this is the fringe shift. So this is the fringe shift. Fringe shift. So fringe shift indicates the delta n. So this is the formula of fringe shift equation. So this is the fringe shift equation. C into delta t by lambda equal to lv square by lambda c square. Next one Michelson and Morley consider values L equal 11 meters. So the distance between M2 M1 and M2 M2 equal to 11 meters. So V means velocity, object velocity 3 into 10 power 4 meter per second. And again next one, C, light speed of value c equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. And the last one, wavelength lambda equal to 600 nanometer. Nano means 600 into 10 power minus 9 meters. That equal to lambda equal to 2 zeros cancelled, 6 into 10 power minus 7 meters. So these values are substituted in fringe shift. So fringe shift delta n equal to c delta t by lambda, that equal lv square by lambda c square, substituted in this value. Delta n equal to L means 11, V means 3 into 10 power 4 whole square by lambda means 6 into 10 power minus 7. C means light speed 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. This total simple question of and this value remaining 0.4, fringe shift value remaining 0.4. So last one, null result. This Michelson and Morley experiment exper, experiment experiment failed. Experiment failed was motion of the earth earth through through either either the change in velocity of light relative relative to observe motion of observer. Then so this is called null result. So this is the totally Michelson and Morley experiment. Thank you friends.